It is a party at the Dollhouse. Okay, guys, my name is Deandra. I am the Dollhouse mistress, and I want to talk about phone sex operator training. Right now is a great time to get started in phone sex operator. As a phone sex operator, I've been doing it for 17 years, and I have helped hundreds of other people start as a phone sex operator. I think everybody who wants to work at home should look at this option, consider it, and see if it's good for them. And guys, you can always try it out, see if you like it, and if you don't, okay, whatever, do something else. Not a big deal, right? That is how we find out if we like things or if something is or is not for us, given it be in this industry or any other, right? I've been doing this for 17 years. Really liked it, really had fun with it when I started, and I was like, yeah, okay, this is for me. Have I only been doing this since then? No, I've also been a full-time school teacher for several years. I actually quit, and I do other things in addition to phone sex, and I, again, love it. It's fun, and when I was a full-time school teacher, I did it basically for extra income as a side hustle, and it was a safe side hustle because I was not putting my pictures out there, and you don't have to either. Just an FYI, that is one thing that I stress. Safety, right? Because that is the most important thing. So you don't have to use your own pictures. Let's get that right out of the bat. And another thing that it was good for, I was working, I was out and about at school, I was my own boss, so if I was at home, had nothing else to do, walking around doing chores, why not log in and make a little bit of extra income, right? And now that I'm not teaching, this makes me that income and more. And guys, it is amazing. So anyways, you can do this part-time, you can do this full-time. And if you are thinking about getting a part-time job or working from home, looking for a side hustle, or even changing your careers, really consider being a phone sex operator. Check out this video, check out my other videos, check out my resources that I have linked down in the description. But I will teach you, and I'm going to show you how to be a phone sex operator. I promise you. And I do have some training sessions that I'm going to go ahead and mention on here, guys. So here we are. This right here are my main offerings as far as my trainings. You can find the links to all of these down in the description. Guys, this is the third time I'm filming this video. Why? Because of glitches in the program, because my voice wasn't heard in the second video, and I don't exactly remember what happened in the other one. But anyways, here we are. We're going to go through it. Third time is the charm. This is it. This is going to reach the right people. So if you're here, welcome. My name is Deandra, like I said, and these are the things that I do to help others learn how to make money online on their own terms in a safe environment, in a safe way. I have heard some horror stories, guys, in this industry. Shit you do not need to put up with. Shit that pisses me off. And I don't want anybody to go through that. So please ask your questions. If something sounds or seems kind of off to you, please drop your questions below. Feel free to send me a private email. My email is down in the description of the videos. I will get back to you and I will answer whatever questions you have. Or if you feel comfortable enough sharing your question down in the comments, feel free to drop it down there and we can definitely discuss and talk about it. But anyways, these are my trainings, guys, and this is the third time we're filming this video. So the pre-game training, that is one Zoom training. I call them siren calls. I don't know if I'm feeling the name, to be honest, but anyways, we will be on Zoom for 1 hour. We will talk about any questions you have. I will help you get started. We can talk about anything you want. Creating your characters, finding your model pictures, or if you want to use your own pictures, the more power to you. But how do you do that safely? Again, that is my big thing. So anyways, 1 hour training, the pre-game training session. And if you want a little bit more than that, if you're interested in the ebooks that I have, the happy hour training sessions and the after party training sessions might be something you want to consider and look at booking for yourself. With the happy hour training sessions, we will do 2 one-on-one sessions on Zoom, just you and I, totally relaxed. We book them whenever you want, and we can do 2 hours together, just 1 2-hour session like straight, or we can do 1 hour today, and then we can book 1 hour next week or 2 weeks from now, whatever. We can stretch them out. The same thing goes for the after party training sessions. That'll give you 4 sessions, 1 hour on Zoom. And again, we can do 2 hours in one sitting, or we can split them out over the month and a half, whatever you want to do. We set them up. And with the happy hour training sessions and the after party training sessions, you will also receive all of my ebooks. So if you go down to the description below and go into my Dollhouse store, the Phone Sex Dollhouse, you can get the sessions. You can sign up and pick your package, and the ebooks will be automatically instant downloaded for you. You will get all of them that are in the vault right now, and then you will get my information so that you can start booking your personal one-on-one training sessions. And I've dropped all those links down below. But why should you consider becoming a phone sex operator, guys? That is simple. This is why. So the income you could make with this right here, guys, is insane. So, and it's always up to you and depending on how many hours you put in, right? I can't necessarily tell you this is how you're going to be making or what you are going to be making, because it is, number one, based on talk time. So the time you are on the phone with someone and talking, you set your own rates. So my suggestion to anybody who is starting out, $150 a minute, please don't go lower than that. You will be not making the amount of money you want to be making to make it worth it for you. So $150 a minute is like my minimum standard starting out. And I don't care if it's your first call or your 1,000th call or a billion, like it's always up to you, right? If you are taking more, I would recommend raising that rate a little bit. But $150 a minute per talk time on different sites. These are only a couple of the sites that are out here, but they are some of my favorite and the ones that I always recommend people start off with for ease of use, reliability. I've never had issues with any of these companies. Night Flirt, TalkToMeandCougars.com are by the same company, same interface. I do have another video where I break that down, so feel free to check that out in my page. And then SynCats. So one time forever ago, I did have an issue with SynCats. And I was like, hey, I didn't get my payment and on this given day or whatever, what's going on? Now I'd been with them for like months, so I knew they were good and I knew that they were going to like answer me right away and take care of it, so I wasn't worried. And sure enough, 2 or 3 hours after I sent the email, they emailed me back and they were like, we're so sorry, let's look into this and figure it out. And like the next day, they're like, yeah, we figured, something glitched on our end and whatever. We're just going to add that payment to your next process payment. Totally fine. I think 2 days later, I got it paid. So again, guys, all these companies are awesome. Customer service is amazing on all of them. Anytime I've reached out to any of these given companies on here, I've always heard back within like 24 hours. Some of them actually call me on the phone and they talk to you. It's not just email. So TalkToMeandCougars.com, definitely shout out for that, because they always have people who are willing and able to get on the phone with me. No matter whatever question I have, whatever, they'll email you back, what's a good time for us to call you? And then you can actually talk to somebody who works with those companies and they will talk you through whatever questions you have. So anyways, going back to your pay and how much you get, I kind of went off on a tangent, but Night Flirt pays 70%. TalkToMeCougars.com, when you're getting started, pays 35%. SynCats pays 50% of your talk time. So if you're charging $150 a minute, and again, the rate's always up to you, but that's what I recommend. On Night Flirt, in 1 hour of talk time, you can make $63. On TalkToMeCougars.com at 35%, you could be making $30 an hour. And then for an hour of talk time on SynCats, you would be making $45 an hour. So you have the ability to make anywhere from $30 to $63 of that payment. So at that $150 a minute. Now imagine those numbers if you were to raise your rate, and then you can do that math based on what you want, how many hours you're going to work. And I do have another video, so feel free to check out and make sure you subscribe, follow, and like, guys. I do have a different video on here where I talk about how to figure out how much you could make, how much you want to make, based on your goals, based on all of that, how to do those numbers and that math. So feel free to check out that video as well. I believe that one is called How Much Can You Make as a Phone Sex Operator or something like that. But either way, I'll link it below as well so you can go and watch that video in more detail. Now, who can be a phone sex operator? Literally everybody and anybody. It is awesome. It is such an awesome opportunity, and I love it. Because if you are a mom or if you are a dad, yes, gentlemen, we love our phone sex operator, our gentlemen phone sex operators. There's a big niche for that. There's a big need for men who would like to be phone sex operators. If you are a college student, guys, when I started with this, I was looking for a work-at-home job. I thought I was getting a customer service job, and well, kinda. But I actually applied to the company that I applied to. It was not an independent company like the ones I mentioned. And nowhere on the website did it mention phone sex. I literally thought I was going to be on the phone answering like, oh, turn on your computer, turn off your computer, like technical customer service type things. And I got hired by the company. Me and the manager talked for like an hour and a half on the phone. Never once did she ask me anything. We literally talked about movies and stuff like that. So she hired me, filled out the paperwork, all that, the W-9 and whatnot. And then when I did the training with everybody, the trainer was like, oh, and if they say that they want to do this and they say they want to do that, and she's going in detail about everything. And I'm sitting here, she's like, anybody have questions? And I'm sitting there like, what the hell? And I asked, why would they say any of these things to us? And she goes, honey, do you know what you've applied for? And I was like, customer service? Then you hear about 20 people laugh at the same time, and the laugh lasted a good 5 or 6 minutes on the phone. And finally, she grabs her composure and she goes, no, this is for phone sex. You applied for a phone sex company. Are you still interested? And me being like an 18-year-old college student, like, well, yeah, I need a job. This sounds good. The schedule works with me. And y'all already got my paperwork, so and that's how that started. And then after that, I came to find that I loved it, and it's so much fun, and it's easy, and it is safe, and nobody knew my name, and it was kind of just went from there. So it's perfect for college students. Like I said, I was a teacher as well doing this, and perfect for teachers, full-time workers like myself when I was teaching, part-time workers. If you just want a little bit of extra holiday money, guys, this is perfect for you. So feel free to ask questions. Feel free to come on board and let me know, what are those questions? But again, who is this good for? Who is this a good opportunity for? Literally anybody and everybody. So again, feel free to check out the comments down below, guys. And the description down below. And sign up with us and come and join us. All right, guys, let's go over some reviews. People that I've worked with before who've gone through my trainings and who I've helped start in the phone sex industry. Now, I've helped people start, and I've also helped PSOs who are already experienced. So I've got a review for both. Now, this right here is Emily. She was brand new to it, and I actually know Emily now. We are friends, and that's just awesome too, that I get to connect with people and we stay friends. When I met Emily, I had gone out to eat with another friend we have in common. She had literally just lost her job, I want to say the day before. So my friend was like, oh, I'm going to invite my friend over. She lost her job. She's feeling kind of down, and I'm going to treat her to lunch and whatnot. So we went to lunch, and Emily was just so sad, and she was worried too because she's got her kids, and understandable, right? And that was the point of the lunch. We were going to try to cheer her up. And she's just talking about her job, and we're telling her like, hey, it's going to be okay. It's going to be all right. You know, it happens and it sucks and whatever. And it was was right about like November time, whenever that happened. So when we were talking to her, I was texting my friend over here who did know that I'm a phone sex operator. And I was like, hey, do you think she'd be into that? Or is she not, the personality? Or would this not be okay with her at all? And she texted me back. She's like, well, ask her, bring it up. And so I told Emily just in the conversation, I was like, well, if you're interested, like this is what I do part-time. At the time I was teaching still. And she was like, wait, you do what? So I'm telling her a little bit about it. I was like, yeah, and if you want, I can help you get started. If you're interested, I will teach you. Like, she goes, I wouldn't know what to say. I wouldn't do any of that. I was like, I can help you. I can help you get started in PSO. We'll buy you some model pictures if you want, and I'll help you set up your profiles, and I'll let you know and tell you like how to navigate it, what to say, what to do when you log in, things like that. So she was literally the first PSO doll. And once I helped her get started and I saw how good she started doing and whatnot fairly quickly, because guys, when you are a PSO, you can literally start today and make money next week. Literally start today, get paid the following week. So she was basically like, okay, well, I'm going to start applying at other jobs and stuff, but yeah, I'll give this a shot, because as we know, sometimes the damn job market, the job hunts take forever. And she goes, yeah, and once I get a job, I can do this part-time like you, and that totally will work out, and I can start making extra money and probably like catch up on stuff, because she was already like thinking and expecting to have that missing paycheck time periods and stuff, right? So she'd already like been imagining all these things in her head. I was like, yeah, totally, that works. We met up the next day. She came over to my apartment. I went ahead and we got her the model pictures. We set up her accounts. 3 days later, she's on the calls and she was texting me and calling me like, what do I say in this case? What do I do? And whatever. She started making money within a week and a half. She literally didn't even miss a paycheck. And I was so happy and excited that I got to help her like that. And guys, she decided to say fuck it, and she did not go back and has not gone back to a regular full-time office job since then. She's literally a full-time PSO, and she is loving it because, like I mentioned, she has her kids, so she gets to work in the evenings and then gets up in the morning, gets her kids ready to school. When her kids go to school, she'll log on, take some calls, and or she decides, I think she does like an every other day thing, but either way, we know not to call her before 2 p.m. because she's either working or she's sleeping. So every other day, like she'll work during the nighttime and then she'll get her kids ready to go to school and stuff. Then she'll take a nap, and by like 2 o'clock she's done and she's good because she's going to go pick up her kids at school. Or she'll be taking calls again on that, until about 1 o'clock, 2 p.m. because, again, she's going to clock out, go get her kids. And it's awesome that this allows her to do that, allows her to stay home with her kids, allows her to support her kids and her family, and allows her to decide, yes, I'm going to work during this time, and no, I'm not going to work in this time because I have something to do, or I want to sleep, or whatever she wants to do, or, oh, I need to go be here with my kids, or I want to take them to school, or we want to go to the park, or whatever, right? And she's in control of her schedule and her income. And literally, ever since then, she's just been a full-time PSO, and that's awesome. So that was somebody who I helped get started in the industry from the very beginning. Now let's talk about Miss Krista. Krista's having such awesome success. I'm so excited for her. And Krista has been a PSO now for a good couple of years. I believe she said she's been a PSO for 8 years, so she knows what she's doing. She had her account set up. We didn't need to set up accounts. However, when I looked at her profiles, she had certain things that I said, I don't like this, I don't like that. We never say this on a profile. It's turning people off. So we tweaked the profiles she already had. We updated them. And guys, 3 profiles that we changed on 3 separate platforms. And once those platforms went live, those new changes got approved and they were live, her calls started coming in like crazy. So we met for about 2 hours on Friday afternoon. She got off the phone with me, went and took some care of some stuff, whatever. That evening, 2 of them had already been approved. She went ahead and she logged on, and she got 10 phone calls on one company. All of her calls were lasting 20 to 30 minutes. So what does that mean? That means she made money, and that's awesome. Then the other profile, she logged in as well, and she got even more calls. She got ranked organically. She did not pay for the rankings on the first page. So the day after we tweaked her profiles, she was ranked number 1, on the first page of that given company site, which is so fucking cool. And then on the other site, on her Night Flirt account, we were able to get her bid. If you do not know, on Night Flirt, you can bid to get into a higher position on the site pages. Her bid went down about $1.25 to get to number 1 after we tweaked her profile accounts, because what you put on your profile, those bots and stuff are organically ranking you. And then a couple of other things go into how much we pay to get a number 1, which we can talk about in a session. But we did that. We looked at that. So now she has to bid less to get up to the top. And she got a whole ton of calls on there as well. And then on top of the calls she actually talked with and got to talk to, she ended up missing 8 more callers. And I told her, all right, this is what we're going to do with them. We're going to convert them to callers afterwards. Anyways, after that one session with me, she made $245 the next day and almost practically made $500 the following day after that, which is super freaking awesome. And that was one session. So we talked and we sorry y'all, we talked on like Friday afternoon. That was her Saturday and her Sunday. So super excited for her and super excited to see more from her and how much more success she's going to get. So if you are interested in either of these training sessions, guys, please feel free to go down into the description and check them out. Again, I have the pre-game training session. You will be on Zoom with me for 1 hour, and we will go over the different things to help you make more money, streamline your account, do whatever it is you want. The happy hour training has 2 sessions and every single ebook, and I am going to talk about what those ebooks have and include in a little bit. Then the after party session is 4 Zoom calls. So what can we talk about on these Zoom calls? I don't know how long I'll keep the siren name out, but just so you know, those are my Zoom calls. What can we talk about? The first thing we can talk about, and what I love doing and reviewing with people, is their account setups, their actual profiles, because that is the first impression a caller has. Now, with that, we definitely wanted to be enticing. We want to bring in their attention. We wanted to get piqued. We are convincing them to go ahead and give us a call. If they like what they read or they like our voice message, both of them specifically have to work together in a very unique way. Oh yeah, I need to call her. I need to call him. And that is what I love doing. So we will go over account setup. If you are brand new, great, we get to do it from scratch. And if you already have an account and you already have everything in place like Krista did, I'll look at them and I will say, okay, this is what we need to change. Let's try this. Let's try that and see how that goes. Typically, guys, like I said, this is my favorite thing to do with people. I can review your account. I can go ahead and get your profile optimized, and I love it. We're going to look at that. We can look at, of course, because it's up to you. PSO persona creation, guys. This is a big one too. This is one that I love talking about because we need to know who you are. Who is your character? It can be you or it can be model pictures. Again, there are legal sites where we can buy model pictures and you can use the videos of that model and the images of that model for your accounts. And I have those links and all of that, and I share that with you in my training sessions. And my models, like these sites are legit. They're pretty. I'm not going to give y'all ugly sites that are shady and things like that. The models on the sites are all legal age. You're going to get the 2257, and I know that others have had issues with this in the past. Please don't let that happen. Whenever you're going to buy model pictures, make sure you ask, do I get the legal forms, the 2257s and all of that? I think that's the number. I'm sure that's the number. So anyways, make sure that you get that. And regardless of that, all right, you got your model or you're going to do yourself, right? Which is fine. The more power to you. Just make sure you take the precautions you need, please, to stay safe. So what you're going to do is you're going to put these pictures out there. You're going to create your characters. You're going to create your persona. And this is so much fun because you get to play pretend. Just imagine when you were younger and you played pretend, right? All of those things, you get to redo it again as a PSO. So that is one thing we talk about and we can talk about in a call. So how to promote yourself, this is super important too. Once you get your account within the different profiles, within the different company sites, there are ways to promote yourself. And if you want to do that and stick to that only, awesome. Let's talk about how to do that in the best possible way to get you the most amount of callers. But if you're ready to do a little bit more, a little bit extra, and start promoting yourself and your character on social media, great. What are the sites you can do that on? What are the sites that are more lenient than others? Given our industry, our topic, you have to be careful with different sites that allow different things. We talk about those. And then I skipped over one of the most important ones, conversation starters. So the different topics, the fetishes we can talk about. You can become specialized in one. You can talk a little bit about everything. And guys, my ebook, 100+ conversation starters, is so good for that. It is about 52 pages and I give you paragraphs. I literally give you paragraphs, and I do have a video and I'll link it in the description where I give you a detailed and I give you a sneak peek into that audiobook, and I go over 2 of the okay for YouTube scenarios and I show you how I break them down. I literally tell you word for word, say this, say that. If they ask this, if they say that, you can respond like this. And then how do we flip the script? And how do we enhance that fantasy? How do we enhance that role play? Check out that ebook, 100+ conversation starters. If you get nothing else from me, if you do nothing else, definitely get that ebook. I do have them in some of the bundles, and I do have it as well on its own. So yeah, definitely a good option. So anyways, skipping down to the list because I did skip one, but ways to make even more money as a phone sex operator. So you don't have to be on calls only to make money. There are ways for you, because again, we have a life. We want to go enjoy ourselves. We want to go be with friends and family and stuff. We don't want to be on the phone for 20 hours. So that sucks. 15 hours a day on the phone. Who wants to do that? Not me. And I don't, but I still make the money that I want to make because I've also implemented different things and different streams of income within the same platforms I'm already using, within the same industry, with my characters and all of that are making me money. The other day I logged into one platform and I was like, what the hell? I didn't get a payout. What happened? Or I didn't get all the payout I was expecting. There was an extra $42 sitting in there. And I checked into it. I'm like, oh, it's because people bought my other stuff that I have available. Very cool. I didn't get on the phone for that money. I got it paid out that day. So very fun. So we talk about those things as well. And then how to make your calls last longer, role play scenarios, of course, different things we can touch on and then we can talk about in the Zoom training sessions. But you always decide, you come in, I want you to come in with questions and topics and things for us to talk about, because I want these to be productive and helpful for you, so I can have ideas and say, we need to do this, this, and that. But if you're like, I'm good with that, I want to talk about this other thing, or how do I do that versus what you think we need to talk about, then we're going to talk about whatever you want to talk about. But these are some suggestions and ideas. And let's talk about my ebooks, guys, because in my after party and happy hour package, you do get all of the ebooks in the Phone Sex Vault. So, Phone Sex Dollhouse Vault. Sorry. Took me a minute to say that one. But anyways, let's talk about some of the ebooks. So that is what you get in the sessions, and let's break these ebooks down, guys. So the first one, join How to Earn Money with Phone Sex. A little bit of everything. This is a great starter book. You can get it by yourself. I touch on, I guess I should say, a little bit of everything, a little bit of promotion, a little bit of conversation starters, scheduling, things like that. But if you really want details, or you're like, I really need to focus on this given topic or that given topic, you definitely want to check out the other ebooks. Now let's talk about the next two that I have listed on here, the Phone Sex Character Workbook and the Phone Sex Character Companion Workbook. Both of these work together on their own just fine, not an issue. However, if you really want to get into that character creation mode, that persona, that personality that you want to make, you definitely want to get both of these. I do have a bundle where I include both of these, so make sure that if you're interested in really getting into the mind of your character, and then this also helps you with knowing what to say, when to say it, what type of things are going on with your character that a caller could possibly be interested in. And I delve into that psychology as well in both of these ebooks. And again, you could get one or the other or both. The companion basically has questions where you'll fill them in, kind of like a journal style notebook, where the Phone Sex Character Workbook itself is more so an actual book and gives you the information. And the companion workbook, it's more like, okay, pause, do this exercise, pause, do this and that. Both of them work well as a partner, because that is what I meant for them, but both of them also, if you get one or the other, not a big deal. You'll still get a lot of information out of it. Now, the next one is my pride and joy, and probably the one book that I were to say, if somebody asked me, which one should I get if I only get one thing from you? It would be this given ebook, because as a phone sex operator, you can pretty much do everything else for yourself. But what do we need to do in order to actually make money? And that's going to be talk to people, actually have conversations, know how to carry the different scenarios, the different role plays, and what do we say during those calls to keep the caller on the phone. So this book is called Make Them Last Longer. Pun intended, but obviously I mean the phone call itself. And keep them coming back for more. Again, pun intended, but obviously I want you to get repeat callers. And this book is going to help you do that. So definitely check this ebook out. I also have a video where I give you those sneak peeks into that ebook, and I give you a little bit more information. So check that out. I will link it in the description. And that way you can figure that out. Now, the next ebooks I'm going to talk about, Clock Me Daddy. Clock Me Daddy is a ebook all about scheduling, all about how you can use different techniques to figure out when is the best time for you to log on to make the most amount of money. Because again, we're not here to be stuck to the phone, slaves to the phone for 15 hours a day. I hate when people say that. I hate when people feel that that's what they need to do. Now, if you want to hustle and you want to get it all and do a whole lot, awesome, we can do that. And I talk about that a little bit in that book. But Clock Me Daddy, basically it's about scheduling yourself, scheduling your time, and taking care of yourself as well. Taking care of your mental self, your physical self, all of that, so that you can come on and do awesome calls and get the money that you need to get and do what you need to do. Seduce with strategy. This is how you promote yourself. Now, the different sites I've mentioned and many others already have a built-in promote yourself manner. So some will say keep posting, post blogs, post this, make a bid, whatever the case is. I talk about that and I break that down in the ebook. But then if you're really ready to get more money and to start promoting yourself, bringing a little bit more attention to your personality, to your, your profile, blanking out, y'all, then you definitely want to start using social media for free. What can we do and where do we promote ourselves? Because some sites allow certain things to be said or done and some sites don't, right? So I break that down on promote yourself as a PSO. Just so y'all know, this is in some of the bundles too, so feel free to check it out on its own merit, which is going to really help you as well, or feel free to check out the bundles that include it. So Lace and Power, I have 2 separate Lace and Power books. So please be aware of that and be careful. In the description, it does say which is which. If it says non-phone sex related, this is an empowerment book. How can you take all of your feminine energy and just kick ass, right? And then if you are interested, the phone sex related book for Lace and Power, if you are interested in domination calls, how do we dominate the caller? How do we do sensual domination? How do we do physical domination, even though it's over the phone, right? BDSM type calls. How do we handle those? Those are a lot of fun for me. I like those types of calls, guys. And it talks about taking the role as the dominant one and then taking the role as the submissive one. And how do we talk to both of those callers who want either role play, right? So make sure you are looking at those. Make sure you get the one that says, if you're looking for the PSO one, look for the PSO one, and it doesn't say in the title non-phone sex related. Now, the next one is also a non-phone sex related ebook. So it does say in the description, so please make sure that you are looking at those things. And I'm sure you've all heard about writing for moolah, writing envelopes for money. You've probably heard about it on social media. I have this ebook here. I call it Lick It and Flip It. So if you are interested in a separate type of side hustle, I did this for a while. I think it's fun because I do like to gamble and I do like those casino games online. So if you are not a fan of that, please don't get that book. If you get it in an ebook in the bundle, then it comes in the bundle, right? But if you are in the US and Canada and you do like those casino games where you get to bet some money, this book will show you how to easily request some credits from the different casinos that you could then use and possibly win some real money with. It's fun, it's awesome, but that is what that book essentially does. Again, it is non-phone sex related, but it is a separate side hustle, and sometimes you just sit down, get the note cards, write the script for that specific casino, and the book gives you all the directions and steps and all of that to do that. And then just do it during your downtime, during calls, do a couple of weeks if you'd like, send them out, then start playing some casino games for some extra money. But that is what that ebook is about. And again, only good for the US and for Canada. If you are in another area, another part of the world, please don't get that one either. And if you're not into like casinos and gambling and things like that, don't get that ebook as well. However, it does come in my bundle. So let's talk about my bundles. The bundles in the Phone Sex Dollhouse, I do have the Dollhouse collection. This is the Power Play bundle, and you get every single ebook in the entire vault. I will be adding in, those will be growing as we go. And then, of course, I have the Seductive Persona bundle, and I have all these different bundles that'll help you get started in phone sex. So if you're not interested in a one-on-one call, you're like, that ebook looks good, that ebook looks good, but I don't really know about the rest, check out the bundle options or feel free to grab an ebook that you're really interested in as well. So that right there, guys, is basically what I've got for you today. If you're interested, if you're ready to get started or take your phone sex operator journey to the next level, please feel free to set up a time for us to chat. Please go ahead and let's check out my description, comment, like, follow, subscribe, all of that fun stuff. Ask me your questions down below so we can get going and we can get started. Either you're getting started and I'm going to help you get started, and that's awesome. I'm so excited. Or I can help you take your PSO earnings to that next level, for just like I did with Krista, just like I did with Emily, and with so many others. And that is what I'm here for, guys. So now tell me also, before y'all get off of here, what should I talk about in my next video? What questions do y'all have? Is there anything you're really wanting to know about? feel free to drop it down below in the chat. Now, if you have a question and you're just like, I don't know if I want to drop it in the chat, feel free to send me a personal email, phonesexdolls@gmail.com. I've also dropped it down below in the description. Feel free to send me an email. And while we're on the subject, I am taking affiliates for all of these programs. So if you are interested in helping me promote these products to others who may be interested in becoming a PSO, go down into the description, go into the Phone Sex Dollhouse site, sign up to become one of our affiliates. I'm so excited for that program. I've had people sign up. About 3 weeks ago, I opened it up, and my affiliates are already having some success. So I am excited about this. So feel free to check that out. Also, before I forget, I'm going to start going live soon. I'm thinking Sunday evenings. I will put a video out. I'll put a post out just to remind everybody. So feel free to subscribe, hit the little bell. If you have questions, come on into my lives. Ask your questions, come say hi, and let's just get to know each other and have some fun and all of that, guys. And until next time, I am here at the Phone Sex Dollhouse. I am Deandra, and I'm here to help you get started in phone sex. So feel free to follow, subscribe, like, ask your questions down below, and I'll see you in the next video.